All right.
She ran away from home after refusing to be forced into an arranged marriage.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. That's what I'm talking about. You can get married to me. Whoever that other person is, don't worry about that, baby girl. I'm here. I'm here for you. Well, if your kid's good. If your kid's good, I'm here for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just woke up. I look at my phone. My boy Tachi's like, you know what to do. And I'm like, what do you mean I know what to do? First of all, I just woke up. I'm like, what do you mean I need to know what to do? I look at the Discord and I see her. This character specifically was a character that once I saw her, I was like, oh, I love like the fan character, the upper echelon kind of character. I don't know if she's gonna be like that, but once I saw her character, Sakaya, and when I saw a regular Kisei, I was like, those are some cool looking characters. I love their designs. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I've been like kind of like down in the dumps with the game. I'm like, damn, this game is grindy. But one thing I love more than anything is new characters. And another thing that I love even more than that is new characters that I already like. So when I saw that she was in the game, that they're finally actually putting her, and it was another guy in the last side story that I was like, yo, that guy looks kind of dope. I forgot his name. He was in the last side story, and he looked kind of cool too. And that's all it is. Like all they have to do is showcase a little character, and it's like, oh baby. Now, of course, whenever I see this, I never look at any of the skills. I see this, and I'm like, let's go. I want you guys to get my raw reaction, because I probably will be going right to sleep after this, because I have work tomorrow. So it is 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Let's do this. Let us enjoy Bellona. Well, let's see how the guy says it. So, I don't want to be all incorrect and shit. So
Bellona is the daughter of a noble Ezran family.
All right.
She ran away from home after refusing to be forced into an arranged marriage.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. That's what I'm talking about. You can get married to me. Whoever that other person is, don't worry about that, baby girl. I'm here. I'm here for you. Well, if your kid's good. If your kid's good, I'm here for you.
Joining the Phantom CIC, she appears to be much more satisfied with her life.
The CIC.
She can fight as many strong enemies as she likes to hone her skills.
Oh, she's about that life. I like it. Skill intro. Let's go.
Razor Wind Fan. Razor Wind Fan is an attack skill that decreases the defense of all enemies.
Hey, we defense break, ladies and gentlemen.
Butterfly Fan. Butterfly Fan is an attack skill that grants immunity. The damage dealt increases with more enemies.
That's not that bad.
Windbreak Fan. Windbreak Fan is a basic skill. Damage dealt is proportional to the enemy's max health and can use all focus to activate Razor Wind Fan, decreasing the defense of all enemies.
I have to really hear that.
With Razor Wind Fan, the player can attack all enemies and decrease their defense. Butterfly Fan becomes more effective with more enemies, as its damage dealt increases as the number of...
Guys, I know you. Hold on. Let me just scale it back a little bit. This is definitely not an our game. I already know. Watch this video and watch the other reveal videos. There are gonna be a lot of people pissed about this. Why is she here? She's not supposed to be here. Cause it's funny, and maybe this is a thing, because Vildred, Deanne, her, and you have her, who is, people have been waiting for her for a long time. I just wanted to pause and like kind of bring that out, because people have definitely been waiting for her for a very long time. And it's just funny that she's here in this video, and it's like, you guys know that this is, the global server. We don't have this in our server currently, so I'm curious to why they would do that. Unless they, this might be the next banner. Maybe they're just like teasing it, like, hey, look, it's in our game, it's in your game. I don't know, but it's just kind of funny.
Number of enemies increase. Also, players can prepare for the enemy's debuff attack with immunity.
only her gets the immunity though. Oh, she doesn't even get to attack. Okay. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it looked like she has a lot of stuff with defense break, and defense break is obviously a very sought after thing. It's not like it's a magical thing that defense break, who wants that? Like, no, AoE defense break is definitely sought after. Her speed is going to be heavily looked at. If she's a very fast unit and she's a banner unit, I think that's that's like Tenebria. Who else is a good AoE defense breaker? Tenebria, I think Tywin is an AoE defense breaker. I'm trying to think of everyone, but like there hasn't been one that you can like get in a banner. So like people can now wail for this, spend a lot of money and get an AoE defense breaker, get the memory imprint depending on what it is. If it's valuable, if it's like attack up or speed, then you know that's gonna make it very, very smart to get multiple copies of this character. All right, so I actually took my contacts out for sleeping, so excuse me while I squint my ass. Get as close as possible as I can here. So attacks the enemy with a fan, dealing damage proportional to the enemy's max health. Like again, when I saw that, that was kind of disgusting. That means that, you know, her S1 is going to be doing significant damage on whoever, it doesn't really matter, but more specifically high health enemies, which is really good to have that on an S1. That's on the dual attack. That's on the counter attack, which I don't think anyone has vied to put an attacker on counter attack, but maybe she might be the one. Just kidding. If the caster's stacked focus is more than 5, loses all focus and activates Razor Wind Fan. So maybe you will rock some counter. So she gains focus. Wait, maybe it doesn't even say how she gets focus specifically. The caster's thing. I'm assuming that she gains focus the same way that Yuna does when she gets like a 1 every time she attacks. Does it? Am I losing my mind? Does it say? Okay, let's just read the second one. Butterfly Fan attacks all enemies by waving a fan. Damage dealt increases with more enemies. And after awakening, so this is just a S2 that has skill. Oh, okay, I see it on the side here. Sorry, I couldn't see. So she gains 1 focus on S1, 1 focus on S2, and 3 focus on S3. So you can literally S3, S2, S1, and then let's see if the caster stack focus is more than 5. So it has to go above 5. So then even then you still will not. And that depends because this character can gain additional focus with skill ups probably. One of them probably has that, I'm assuming. If not, that's still fine. Her S2 is a 3-turn cooldown, I see. So, you know, you'll be able to utilize that a little bit more. But the fact that you can literally S3, and it says here also that it looks like the S3 can trigger S1 or something. Jesus, she's stacked, which is good. Need some more stacked characters. I mean, you know, I want more stacked characters. Not everyone wants more stacked characters. And then the S2 is a damage to 1 more enemies. Same thing when it's awakened, grants the caster immunity for 1 turn after attacking, which is good, obviously, because you don't want 1 turn and then it goes away. Or usually what they say is that it just grants 2 turns. It usually doesn't need to say that it's, you know. But I like the way that's written. It's to make sure that the buff comes after they attack. You know, just written slightly different. Sometimes you just have it on higher cooldown, so when the turn ends, that it goes down to 1, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's look at the S3 attacks all enemies by creating a powerful gust of wind with a 65% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. Effect chance increased by 20% when Razor Fan is triggered. Oh, okay. So that's what I was reading. I was like skimming through it at the same time. So it's 85% chance if it's triggered off the S1, which is like, it's like a kind of like a balance-ish thing. Now I'm assuming since they do have that, that's going to leave 15% up in the air. I'm assuming maybe through skill ups that the 15% could be added, which would mean base level it's going to be 80. And then if it goes off the S1, it's 100. Like the S1 passive. I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. More likely than not. Obviously, they don't want to give you 100 from base and then that wouldn't make any sense. Like 100 and then 120% for that extra boost in confidence. But I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. It's going to probably skill up, go up 15. So it has base 80 in 100% once if you activate it off the S1. I want to see how easy it's going to be, because a lot of the things, especially with a ranger, that means you can Rose Hargna her, and that could be very interesting, because then you're going to have this whole, you know, her attacking multiple times. And technically, if I'm not mistaken, if she was to S1, if the caster's stats focus is more than 5, she will actually use it. So, you know, dual attacking will be a big thing with her, and it's nice because obviously, not only with the artifacts aside, they do have a dual attack, you know, set. Can someone let me know in the comments? I haven't tested it yet because I can't do the raid that well because I had trouble staying awake when I farm in this game. But can you stack the dual attack set? Can you put in more than one? If you can put in more than one, that's going to make it even better, because having her dual attack, she can actually dual attack into her S3. And if I'm not mistaken, the S3 will still give her focus, which, you know, will help her do that more often than not. So and this is actually what I kind of wanted for Yuna. I wanted Yuna to, like, you know, counter and attack and get her focus stack so she can match the S3. But it also says here, oh wait, I read it this time before someone's like, you can't do it. It does have a 6-turn cooldown. There goes the balance. So I kind of hate when they do a focus. Unit, I don't think has a balance like that. I kind of hate when they give a character a cool mechanic like that, but it's something, then you can't abuse it. So I wish you can just, if you had a way, like if you sacrifice some attack and you know, well, yeah, pretty much attack it so you don't go the attack set, or you sacrifice crit damage by not going to crit damage set or something like that, but you go counter dual attack set and gain as much focus by dual attacking and countering. I wish you can be rewarded from that by not having a cooldown. You know, that would have been cool, but it would have been very strong, her S1ing on a dual attack and then S3ing. So it should work like that, by the way, because it doesn't say that it can't. It's just the S1 triggers and it goes into S3. It should happen automatically. It should be like Vildred's. And they snuck in this, and this is another thing that confused me when I did the Ken video, is that they're sneaking so many passives into these into the skills. It kind of threw me off when I was doing the Ken rework video, and I was, you know, they're sneaking passives into each thing, and it's kind of hard sometimes for me to know whether or not a skill is something happens exclusively in a skill in comparison to it benefiting the entirety of the kit. So, like, you know, I was just a little thrown off by that. Like, now I see, like, the focus. I would have been confused if I read this too quickly, and then people were like, the focus is right there. It's like, dude, it's 5 a.m. I'm sorry, I missed something. But of course, she has the Iron Fan, and then she comes with her own artifact. She's coming with her own side story. Normally, I would do a whole update video, but I'm really just gonna focus on her because the side story is pretty much the same thing. We all know how that works. It's gonna be new banner. There's a story that accompanies the new banner character, so I'm just gonna usually focus on the banner character, unless it's like the Christmas event where it has absolutely nothing to do with the character or anything like that. But, you know, we know the deal here. There's nothing. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. So the Iron Fan, specifically, damage dealt increased by 60% when attacking a ice elemental target. That's very specific. And it's funny because this is a 5-star artifact, which is kind of like, I don't know why necessarily. Obviously, this is great for her, and then it gives her even more damage, or any ranger at that point, wind ranger is going to help out in the Banshee. So it's just like, that's what it's screaming out to me. Banshee helper, help me do the Banshee girl. But I don't know. Not necessarily know if this is like not game breaking, but like if you got this, I don't know if you're necessarily happy as in comparison to the other ones. So this artifact is looking like on a lean side to me. Like, it's not that great. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. I would much appreciate it. We are trying our best to get out of the hole of working jobs that suck. I want to do this full time, but we got to take our time to get to full time. And I appreciate every like, every subscribe onto YouTube. Any of that stuff is much appreciated. We do have a Patreon as well, and I'm going to be working on some animations as soon as my last job is up and done. This is like my last 2 days, because today is now the 9th, right? Last day last 2 days of working my other job down to one job, and eventually we're going to get out of that job, and it's going to be through the help of you guys, through the Patreon, through the likes, subscribing, through the views, the upvotes, and downvotes if you don't like it. That's fine. It's going to be all because of you guys. It's all you guys and a little bit of me. So I hope to see you guys in there. Thank you again to Isaac and Tachi to being our first 2 patrons. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. I don't know what that is. Please cut the video out before that happens. I'm going to sleep.